Okay, I think it's actually going this time. Before it streamed for 1 second and then stopped. So today, I just got off work and now I need to make dinner. So I'm going to be making a beef and veggie stir fry because that's relatively easy. And I'm going to do it in my cast iron pan because that's the closest thing I have to a wok. And you know, it works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pan out and start to preheat it. By the way, I moved. Ha ha ha. Hi, Super Bass. It says I'm in shorts format. Do I need to like turn it? Does that work? Yeah, so this is my beautiful, now it's full screen, excellent. They updated the app and it looks different again. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Plus I haven't done this in a while. But this is my cast iron pan. Nice deep skillet. It also works as a Dutch oven. It has a lid too, so that's pretty nice. And I'm going to, first thing, I'm going to get this heating. So I'm going to put that on like medium heat. They said it was born to play steel, but we cast it as iron anyways. I've heard people say really good things about steel pans, but I don't own any. I think cast iron is a little bit less expensive. I'm sure it's not costing this now, but when I got my Lodge Dutch oven originally, is a 3-in-1 combo cooker because it has the deep pan itself, and it has this pan that came with it too, a nice shallow skillet, and then this also can be a lid so that it's a Dutch oven. So I got all that for like 35 bucks. I'm sure inflation has because that was like 10 years ago. I'm sure inflation has made it much more now, but you can't say or deny, you just wanted the pun. So I have defrosted some grass-fed ground beef. You know, I love my butcher box. Never to be sponsored, but still. I'm just trying to feel how warm the pan is getting. So we're going to be cooking the beef first, and kind of while that cooks, I'm going to prepare some vegetables as well. Sponsored, yeah. So what I've got for today, I have some peas. I guess I can take it out while we're waiting. I've got some peas. I'm not sure I'm going to use all of these, but, you know, beef and snow peas is like classic, right? And then I also have some carrots. Probably not going to use all of them, but got carrots. And I have some celery too. Some celery. So, gonna be a nice, nutritious meal. And it's gonna give us some leftovers as well. So I'm gonna open up this with my kitchen scissors, because you can wash them off afterward. It's always nice. We're dealing with raw meat. And so I'm going to take this beef, we're going to throw it into this pan here. the one-handed, maybe one-handed. Hey! We did it. Gosh darn it, every single person you like to watch started streaming within 5 minutes of each other. Oh, wow, really? Just everybody. It's a streaming kind of day, I guess. It's like hot outside. Nobody wants to go out there. I was first. Haha. See, that the trick is to start before the hour. So a lot of people like to start on the hour, and it's like, bro, time's an illusion. So I think actually the pan should have been letters, but in there. I think the pan should have been a little bit warmer. It's not going to kill it being in this early. I should have done the water test and stuff, but honestly, I haven't cooked in this pan for a while. You're trying to encourage your she never likes to watch Twitch friend to tune in because she likes cooking. Oh. Well, that's good. She is also the only other human ever you've convinced to start playing ESO. Sorry that you weren't successful with me. I did try it at least, but yeah, I think RPGs just aren't my thing, man. So I've got the ground beef. I'm kind of breaking it up. But yeah, ideally the pan should have been a little bit hotter before I put it in here. But that's okay. We're still going to break it up so that it's spaced out and can brown a bit. And then we'll just kind of leave it alone until we hear sizzling, and then we can start stirring it. That is either a big chunk of fat or a bit of cartilage. We're gonna try to fish that out. I don't know if you can see that. That shouldn't be in there. I did in fact try. If this finishes in time, you do have an ESO streamer whose content I may enjoy. Oh. Really? Okay, I think that's decently spread out. So we're going to pause on this, and we're going to start, let's just say it's a little different from what you expect in an MMO. We're going to start prepping our vegetables. Set you down over here. We'll start with the peas. We got to get them washed. Trying to make sure there isn't any, dirt on them or whatever. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. These peas, they're like a couple days old, but even if they're like not the most absolute fresh, they still cook up pretty good. Just wash all of these. thing that is a little bit vexing about peas is that you have to kind of dress the pea pod. There's this little bit on top that is not edible, so you don't want to eat that. That one's real good. I think those are good though. Yeah, that one doesn't look great either. Some of the ones at the bottom I think got a little sad. Okay. So, there's all our peas. Got them a towel, drying them off. I'll toss these two. Keep closing the garbage can lid as if I'm not going to be back over there. I'm starting to hear the beef a little. So it is cooking, but I don't think it's quite ready to turn yet. But that is something to keep an eye on. See, we're starting to see a little bit of water coming out, a little bit of sizzle. So I'll probably be ready to turn in another minute or two. We're going to start on these peas first. And got my cutting board here. Ooh, try to hang it. No, it doesn't work. I lost my little book that I used to do to put this up a little higher. Is that any better? Not really. Because the stand only does so good. Like, ideally it'd be like that. Maybe this? No, it's basically watch Caitlin try to get the right angle stream. What can I use? I'm gonna give this one a shot. There! Yeah, that works. To bend down, but you can at least see what I'm doing. How did my cutting board get something sticky on it? Okay, I do think the very definition of good enough. Angle Angel would be a really good Twitch username. So yeah, this is going pretty heavy now, so I'm gonna do an initial flip here. Yeah, so you're starting to get, not like caramelized, but it's starting to be brown, so we want to give it a chance to cook on the other side. I'll smoosh it a little bit too, so it's not so thick. Smooshing is the technical term, of course. Hurrah. And you probably can't hear, but when I flipped it, it quieted up again. So once I start hearing the sizzling again, I'll know it might be time for another flip. Get it nice and spread out. You don't have to like completely break it up right away. All right, so we got these pea pods. Getting rid of the little stringy thing on the bottom, the little thing on top. Stringy thing bottom, stem on top. That one doesn't have it. Nice. You can just have like a little bowl or something to collect your garbage. You don't even need to use a knife for this, really. You're supposed to do, like, you're supposed to cut the peas to make it, like, fancy. I might do that. I don't know. I might be lazy. I had to work, like, an extra hour today, y'all. Like, I wanted to start this at 4. It did not work out.
That's the thing with being salaried, though. You gotta go where they need you. I don't like that one. Yeah. Again, if we wanted to be more clean, we could be doing this with a knife, but it's like, they snap off pretty good, so. I'm gonna turn down the meat a little bit. Had it on medium, I'm gonna put it to medium low so it cooks a little slower, because I'm hearing it sizzle again. And I'm busy. So the idea with this is we're gonna cook the beef. We're gonna take the beef out. We're gonna heat up the pan more. Then we're gonna cook the vegetables. And then you put the meat back in, put in all the sauce and stuff, let it simmer together. That's kind of the general idea. Some of these don't look the greatest. And I have so many, it's like, I'm only gonna use the greatest. Like, you could eat them, but I don't like the ugly ones. And I believe I don't have any soy sauce in the house. That might change soon. I might get some low sodium soy sauce, but for now I just have some coconut aminos, so I'll be using that instead. Coconut aminos are a lower sodium alternative, even more lower sodium than low sodium soy sauce. They also might be gluten-free or something. They're at least soy-free, I know that. They actually make coconut aminos from, I think, the sap of the coconut tree. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to use some sesame oil to finish off, of course. I don't like to cook with the sesame oil. I prefer to use it as a finishing oil. It has a lower smoke point, so you don't want to get all smoky and... Because the thing is, when oil smokes, that basically means it's spoiled. So ideally, you don't want that to happen. There's going to be a lot of peas. Yumma yumma peas. Peas are legumes, I think, from the legume family. Same family as like beans and peanuts. But they have a surprising amount of protein, peas. You know, beans, they have the reputation for protein, but peas not so much. And they really should. Still listening for the beef. Although, you guys can't actually see my head. I keep turning and looking at the beef and making sure it's okay. It's behind me. Not that one. And not that one either. So part of it is I'm feeling for how firm it is. If it's really floppy, that means most of the nutrients have gone out of it anyway. Meh. You can cook a floppy pea. Like, you know, it gets floppy when you cook it anyway to a certain extent, but yeah, it's not like it'll make you sick. It's just like a quality issue. I have so many. I mean, look at this pile of peas here. It's a lot. That one's already broken. Whoops. Putting the garbage where the food's supposed to go. Losing focus. Last couple of peas. Gotta keep it up. 2, 1. Okay, peas are done. Oh, nope, there were some more in the fold. Ah, there are actually 5 more left. Dude, I'm like a personal trainer. It's the last set. No, this one's the last set. Okay, I believe that's actually all of the peas. Yes, it is. Okay, so we got all our peas here. I gotta flip the beef again. I'm trying to break it up first. The biggest pan I have is this one, and it's a 10-incher, I want to say. Kind of been wanting me a 12-incher for a while. Just so that way the meat isn't kind of crowded like it is. Like, it works. It has enough space, but it's a little crowded. Try and stir that up a little bit. Let that keep cooking. Try to chop up the big chunks. Now I'm trying to make sure that we're penetrating into the deepest recesses of the ground beef so that it all cooks through. The stir and stir fry. A little bit, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna throw away this trash here. Throw away this trash too. Definitely don't let anybody see that I just put that on the counter directly instead of in a bowl because I forgot to do a bowl. Could wipe down the counters afterward. So the peas need to be moved so that I have my cutting board again. So I'm just gonna put them in a dish real quick. And I'm not gonna chop them up fancy because the beef is cooking so fast, I'm not gonna have time. Letters responsible? Oh, letters responsible. Okay, so I got that. I'm gonna take my bendiest carrots here, because bendy carrots, you know, you could cook them, who cares? Trying to wash them really well to get the dirt off. And how was there another pea? Throw it out. So I'm washing them to get the dirt off of them. They came with the greens on, but I cut them off when I store them. Fun fact. If you buy carrots with the greens on, and you're not planning to use them that day, you should cut the greens off, because the greens will draw water out of the carrot root and they will be dry or drier. So for best quality, cut the greens off. Getting a knife, getting a knife to cut the carrot. Got the knife to cut the carrot. So I'm just starting with getting the tip and the top cut off. Now kind of using the old pea container as a trash bin. All right, and for this, I could do circles, I could do bias cut. I think I'm gonna do bias cuts. Might actually be difficult with how skinny these carrots are. They're gonna be thin sliced. So bias cut just means cutting diagonally. It makes it a little more fancy. When cutting diagonally, and always in general, make sure you're cutting away from yourself. Part of the reason why I'm cutting them thin like this is because I do not want the carrots to take overly long to cook compared to the peas, which are, not as stiff. That beef is sounding and smelling like it may need another turn. Another advantage to doing the bias cut is that I have some carrot left over at the end, which I can then eat as a snack because it is 5:20 and I'm super hungry, but I had to work late. So it's gonna keep me from falling over. As we're cooking it, a lot of that liquid is starting to evaporate off, which is what we want. I generally judge ground beef as being done when there is little to no liquid left at the bottom. Benedict beef, it is. Letter serious. Benedict beef, it's turning on you. Yeah, because I find that you get more browning when there isn't any liquid left. And that kind of browning reaction, it helps give it more flavor. I guess you kind of can't see what I'm doing because of the big pile, but that's cutting on the bias there. Great. There's our carrots. We put them on our little plate here. Now, I'm going to get some celery. So the peas and the carrots both are a sweeter vegetable. So this celery is going to give it a little bit more salt. The celery kind of has a salty taste. Oh, that's outside. I was like, heard a big scary noise. So I am also going to try to do this diagonally. Maybe not that much. Yeah, I will say usually when you make a beef and snow pea, they're like, cut the peas in half, but I don't think I'm going to end up doing that because the beef is going to be done really, really soon and I need to move on and get dinner ready because I'm hungry. Oh, so hungry. Okay, I think that's good for vegetables. So we got our veggies prepped. See, it's mostly pea, but we got some celery and carrot to break it up. I'm gonna put the rest of the celery and carrots away. Back in the fridge with you. Yeah, so we're starting to get a little bit of browning. If I pick you up so you can see, we're starting to get a little bit. We'll leave it on for just a little bit longer, I think. Okay. You said this is the meat tutorial you always needed. Yeah, ground beef. So I feel like ground beef gets a little bit of a bad rap. The main thing that you want with beef is you want to make sure that you're buying good quality beef. If you're buying good quality beef, assuming that you're, you don't have endless income like most of us, you're not going to overbuy it. You don't want to overindulge. Meat's always been something you've been spooked to cook with. You stick to case. You're told extremely precisely. Case? Questions? Oh, you stick to cues. Still don't get it. Oh. Are you like afraid for food safety reasons? One thing is that, I've been cooking meat long enough. Gotcha. I've been cooking meat long enough that I'm like, oh, that sounds done. That smells right. That looks like the liquid is off. Get a meat thermometer. I have one. I still use it for things that I cook less often. But if you get a good electronic meat thermometer, just use that. And mine actually has on it, is it that part of it? I don't know if it's reversed or if it'll focus, but on the meat thermometer itself, it's like, here is the safety temperature for each kind of meat. So, yeah. That really helped me when I first started cooking. Thinking probably another minute here. And the other thing too with this, yeah, another minute. I'm thinking too with this ground beef is that it is gonna go back in the pan. We're gonna cook it a little bit more too. We start thinking about sauces. Another nice thing about making the beef is that it's gonna leave some fat in the pan. I'm using 80-20, I think it was. So I think that's 80% lean, 20% fat. So it's gonna leave behind some fat in the pan. That's gonna start our veggies off for our stir fry. So the vegetables are gonna taste like beef, which isn't that what we all want. And if you don't like beef, you could also do this recipe with like ground turkey or ground chicken. Ground pork would also work. Basically, any kind of ground is pretty interchangeable, honestly. You just have to be mindful of the cook point. They have different cook points, I think. Or no. I think they're all like 160. Ground, you have a higher required cook point. Cook temperature. Okay. So out of the fridge, I got my coconut aminos, which is soy substitute. See, look, it even has a stir fry picture right on the bottle. Isn't that great? And I'm gonna go in my cabinet here. I'm gonna go in my other cabinet. I reorganized my cabinets recently. And look at this big boy. Yeah, sesame oil. So he's to finish with. And probably gonna grab, should I do avocado oil? Let's get some avocado oil to supplement the beef with. I could also use grapeseed oil, but something that you're looking for something that has like a decently high smoke point so that it doesn't go blah. Okay, This is what I listen for. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You hear I was kind of making that crackly noise? You might not be able to hear it over my, tiny phone microphone, but that means I'm going to take it out. So, I'm going to put it in this bowl here. I'm going to do a glass bowl because it can take the heat. Literally, that's what I'm doing with it. And we're going to scoop the beef out. Bring my thing back over here so I can tilt it up a little bit and I can move this out of the way. Thanks for sticking with me through this shoddy camera work. Still also getting used to this newer kitchen. Oh, the crackle was pretty audible? Good. One thing to keep in mind is that as you put the hot food in the bowl, the bottom of the bowl might get hot. So make sure that you are paying attention to your hand and that you don't burn it. Right now, I think I'm doing okay. I'm going to shift a little. So I'm trying to get all the beef out right now. And those last couple of pieces are a little bit of a challenge. But I also have to make sure that I don't accidentally touch the pan because then I will burn myself. And that's most of it. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. And, I didn't get all of it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. But you see there's a little bit of oil left in there, but I'm going to put a little bit more in. I'm going to do this avocado oil, I think. Yeah, it smells good. I always like to give my oil sniff, just in case. I just put a little drizzly drew in there. And that's kind of spreading out. I'm going to turn up the heat a little. I like medium high. A lot of people are like, stir fry, it's got to be super, super hot. I don't really believe in that. Okay, and what am I going to put in? I think I'm going to put the peas in first. I don't want to overcrowd the veggies. The peas are the thickest thing because I cut the celery and carrot so thin. So I'm going to try and give them a little bit extra time. Could I be using a better utensil than the knife that I cut them with? Probably. All right. There. So some of the carrots and celery got in there too, but whatever. So yeah, I'm just doing the peas a little bit. I'm keeping an eye on the time. It's 5:32. So we're gonna do these for a minute or two, and we're gonna add the other vegetables. So this is the stir fry part. This is the stir fry part. I'm looking for a couple of things. Generally, when you cook things like green peas or broccoli, also really does this. The green will become a little brighter when you cook it. Like it'll be like more bright green. I don't know how else to say it. So I'm kind of looking for that. Okay, that's been a minute. I'm gonna add the other veggies now. Wanted to give those peas a little bit of a head start. And I think I'm going to add the first little dash of coconut aminos. Oh, what? Ready for Letter's kick-ass word of the day? Vibrant. Oh, yes. A vibrant green. So we're starting to get some of that vibrant green. Celery largely stays the same color. Carrots too, but the peas, you can tell. So I'm going to put a couple of dashes of that in there. And it's going to get a little loud. Because the coconut aminos are like, I'm a liquid and you just put me in a hot pan. So it's going to help put some flavor on these veggies. You can also add spices at this point. A couple of good options are, if you like heat, you can do a chili pepper. I have a fancy Korean style red pepper, but you don't have to use that. If you want something that's a little bit more toasty or whatever, you can try doing a Chinese 5-spice. I'm looking for a little bit spicy though, so I'm gonna do a little bit of that. Oh my god. There's emojis in the chat. What's happening? Pot pan, please stop hissing. Oh no. It's supposed to do that. We want that. All right. Look at these peas. Look how vibrant green they are now. Remember they were kind of dull before when we were cooking them? When we were, stringing them? Preparing them? Meanwhile, the celery is starting to get a little bit more yellowish and maybe a little bit translucent, depending how thin you cut it. So it's really starting to get there. That is aggressively green. Evening, Devil's Cry. Just making some stir fry. All right, I think we're going to lower the heat a little bit, and we're going to put the beef back in. And I might actually reserve half of this beef for a different purpose, like I could use it for spaghetti or something. I really like a veggie forward stir fry. Put some more coconut aminos in it. How's it coming along? It's going all right. It's going fine. Yeah. Now we're just starting to incorporate. Yeah, I think I got a pretty good ratio. See, I only used about half of the beef. So the rest of that beef I can use for another purpose. I can make some spaghetti later or something. I think I said that already. I'm getting really hungry. So. Alrighty, I think that's looking pretty good. So we can try tasting a little bit. Pretty solid. Try to grab one of the peas too. I think that's good. So I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to finish this with the nice sesame oil, which will add that nice finishing flavor. Oh yeah. And I'm going to get my pot holder and remove it from the heat. kind of the nice thing about having an electric cooktop. I can just slide it instead of having to pick it up. My previous kitchen had a gas stove, and so it was coils, and you had to pick it up every time. And steel, it's not steel, I mean steel's heavy too, but cast iron's heavy. Alrighty, I think that looks pretty good. So, I will plate some up here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? You could eat this by itself, but I think I'm gonna make some microwave rice to go with it. So we're just gonna grab some rice. They make instant rice that you can put in the microwave. Cooks for 90 seconds. Tear some notches, smoosh it. It's great. I don't actually have my Instant Pot right now. I'm getting it back, but you can also make rice the long way in an electric cooker, like an Instant Pot. Or, if you have a rice cooker, do it in that. And if you have a rice cooker, you probably know, yeah, you put the rice in at the beginning before you start doing everything else. Yeah, but so we're looking pretty good. Looking nice and green, veggie full, healthy. If you wanted to, and you know, you could put some garlic in this, would probably be good. I don't ever use garlic because I'm allergic to it, but you know, a little garlic powder or something might spice it up a kick. But yeah, that's basically how it goes. I think I'm gonna get a plate and get me some food. Gotta keep remembering to bring my little booster. Say, oh, okay. We're gonna let that rice stand for a minute because the bag will be hot. But we're gonna get a nice serving of vegetables. And you can do brown rice, or you can do white rice if that's your thing. I prefer brown because it has a little bit more nutrients in it. It also has a lower glycemic index, which is good for those of us who have blood sugar thoughts and things to deal with. But yeah, here's your healthy meal here. Got some good veggies, some rice. Do it at 360. Okay, I'm gonna go eat now. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Please be sure to stay safe and have a good one.